la 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 la.
Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear.
Good morning, America. Buongiorno, buenas tardes, guten tag to everyone. Good afternoon, Europe. Good afternoon.
And good evening, Asia. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Welcome to Season 2, a new season of Madz Talk Plus.
Oh, hello, Alfred. Well, this is the Madz Talk Plus. We have new content and new ways to be inspired, to find joy, and most importantly, to keep on singing.
So people are asking, why is the title of our trailer and our episode Just Sing, Sing a Song? Well, it's a bit difficult to explain that. So instead of explaining why Just Sing, Sing a Song, we put together this show instead. And hopefully in the next hour, we will be able to answer this question.
Madz Talk Plus is a production of the Madz Music Studios, the educational arm of the Philippine MAD-REGAL singers. But more than just being a school and offering music lessons and classes, do you know that the Madz Studio is also a performance venue?
So instead of a large concert or recital hall experience, the Madz Music Studio offers a rather intimate, up-close and personal kind of performance. It's a really wonderful encounter between the performance artist and the audience because you're really up close and personal. And before all the venues closed for the pandemic, this up close and personal concert series of the Madz Studio was called 55 seats only for the obvious reason that there's just a maximum of 55 seats. So it's a wonderful experience to be inside this beautiful acoustics of the Madz Music Studio's big hall because it gives the performer a very personal way of connecting with his or her audience. So for the small audience, it is like being in a close musical conversation with the artist. Now, the physical venue right now is temporarily closed for public use as specified by health regulations and protocol. However, this period, we put in some effort to refurbish and refresh the venue. So in addition to the usual repairs and maintenance, we also fixed up the acoustic features of the place to make it an even better place to learn and rehearse and to perform.
Yes, maybe some of our viewers here might want to think about mounting their own intimate and close-up personal recitals or concerts. Well, why don't you think about that using 55 seats only for your closest friends and family? Whether you are a choir, a small vocal ensemble, a duet, a trio, a musical ensemble, or a soloist who wants to find a safe, conducive, and stress-free performance opportunity, why don't you use this as, for your quarantine and lockdown period to plan and prepare for your own personal, intimate performance and do your 55 seats only show when the world opens up again, hopefully soon.
Okay, so projectin nyo yan, ha? Isipin nyo yan, mag-concert kayo sa Madz Studio pag nagbukas tayo ulit. 55 seat only. Mabilis lang yon, magbenta ng ticket. Kayang-kaya nyo yan. Okay. Aside from being a school or learning center, aside from being a performance venue, the Madz Music Studio is also a vibrant center that is home to several performing groups. Here are some of the groups that call the Madz Studio their home.
My experience with the Madz has made a better musician and a better person in me. It also taught me that for my experience to have meaning or worth, I must share it with others. In the Male Ensemble Philippines, I am able to do just that. Imagine I am given that chance to work with other singers so they may find their voice and its better purpose. Though I really miss singing with the Madz, because my years with them were just simply and truly the most beautiful, I feel that through the male ensemble Philippines, I am able to keep my Madz roots to inspire, to share, and to make a true difference.
Being with the Madz for 11 years opened a lot of opportunities for me. It did not only allow me to perform in many places and develop myself, it also inspired me to commit to its mission. It is a calling to put my Madz learnings out there for others to experience. That's why, when the Male Ensemble Philippines was formed, and I was chosen to be one of its leaders, I knew that it is an opportunity to make world-class music and inspire my co-singers to also live with a purpose. Sir Mark, I want you to know that you can always count on me and that I will always be there to help you with the Madz mission.
The Nightingales wanted to pay the world forward with a song. This is why Musica Filipina came to be. Yung purpose ng group and the music making are the reasons why I am here. I wanted to do my share in building this mission kasi alam ko how much it can do to make life more meaningful. Musika, sining at kanta ng Filipina. Yan ang Musika Filipina.
It's amazing to see how certain parts of our lives move from one big purpose to another. One day, I was singing with Musica Filipina, and the next, I became part of the MAD Schola Cantorum administrator. I'm honored to assist these young scholars and to be part of their growth and future success. I believe in what the MADS and its programs can do to make our country and the world a better place.
So, who is or what is the MAD Schola Cantorum, or this mission of the MADs that they were talking about in the previous segment?
Ay nako, Alfred, let's keep them intrigued first. We won't answer that question now, so let's let them stay tuned and don't leave, all of you there, because we will come back to that question later. In the meantime, we will now introduce you to a new feature of the season of Madz Talk Plus, our regular segments. Let me introduce you to our first regular segment of the show.
So, today's first episode, the new season for Madz Talk Plus, is titled Just Sing, Sing a Song. Yan ang episode title natin. And if you caught the trailer, you would have heard Mark Carpio sing, "Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear." And that's exactly what we invite you to do. Just sing. You are probably at home now. Perhaps you're alone in your room, or you have a few family members nearby. Don't worry. Just sing like no one is listening.
Well, our next segment is called S.O.S. What does that mean? Some know it as Save Our Ship, but no, for us it's Sing Out Session. This will be a regular part of our monthly Madz Talk Plus to give you all viewers a quick, short, and a very interactive opportunity to just sing. Then, I now turn you over to the segment host of S.O.S, or Sing Out Session, Miss Kat Saga. And remember, don't just sit there, no, listen to this show. Instead, come on and sing out loud.
Hi, this is Coach Kat, and welcome to
Sing Out Session.
This is a 5-minute vocal workout, and today we're gonna start with the basics. But before we sing, let's do a quick warm-up, starting with our arms, head and neck, and shoulders. Let's bend our head to the right. Now to the left. And downwards. Pull back up. Let's go to our shoulders. Let's pull our shoulders up to our ears. Tighter and tighter. And drop them down. Let's do it one more time. Pull our shoulders up to our ears. Tight and tight and tight and down. For our arms, let's put our arms up, reach the ceiling, give your body a good stretch. Now arms down. One more time. Arms up and down. Awesome. So we all know that our breath is our main source of energy when we sing. So do the following exercises with me. Let's stand straight. Put both hands in our belly and let's do a very gentle breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. On your next inhale, let's make a sound as we exhale. One more time. Now, let's sing with our breath. Sing it with me. Let's go half step higher. One more time. Now remember, when you're doing these exercises, to keep your jaw very relaxed, like this, and sing. Good job. Stand straight. Check your breath. Relax your jaw. You're doing great. Keep going. Very good. Keep relaxing. Almost there. Check your breath. Great job. All right, so now you're all set to sing your heart out. I'm Coach Kat, and see you next time on Sing Out Sessions. Bye!
Sing Out Session.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that segment and I hope you did not just sit there and listen. Sabi nga ni Kat at sabi ni Candy kanina, I hope that you joined in and sang and learned something about singing.
Yes, Alfred. Next month, Kat brings more learning and singing techniques in her segment, the S.O.S. Sing Out Session. For our viewers, you may communicate with us or send us a message, and please feel free to give your questions or your problems. Kat can answer you, and she'll be very happy to cover all these topics in her next segment. But wait, hang on. We're not yet done with singing. And if you still have not downloaded the choral score for the next singing session later, well, here is the link. Dali na, bilisan nyo na, get your score ready.
Okay, but for now, balikan natin pinag-usapan natin kanina. Let's explore in more detail what is Schola Cantorum. The short answer is that Schola Cantorum is a full scholarship program for carefully selected high school students to undertake voice, piano, and music studies. Scholars are generally admitted while they are in grade 9 or 10 and they stay with this program, again on a full scholarship, until they graduate high school.
Okay, let's actually hear some of the scholars themselves talk about what it is like to be in this program and what they experience. Further on, the MADZ choir master, Mark Anthony Carpio, who also serves as the director of the MADZ Schola Cantorum, will tell us about the inspiration behind this and what he dreams Schola Cantorum could be.
The MADZ Schola Cantorum is a choir composed of teenagers such as myself, and we are scholars under the Philippine Madrigal Singers.
Kami yung high school scholars ng Philippine Madrigal Singers. And basically, we study music and choral singing under them.
Yes, I'm a proud member of the pioneer batch of the MADZ Schola Cantorum. Dahil sa MADZ Schola Cantorum, nagawa ko yun. Nakapag-perform ako sa iba't ibang lugar, concerts, CCP, and syempre yung makasama si Sir Mark and yung mga dati kong pinapanood na MADZ.
I think my most fulfilling experience in Schola would be our first time singing with Madz at CCP, because for many of us it was our first time to perform there. I only used to watch Madz perform here at CCP, but now here I am performing alongside them.
In 2017, we had the opportunity to compete for the third time at the European Grand Prix for choral singing, and that was held in Tolosa, Spain. In the competition, everybody has an opportunity to learn from everybody else. That evening, we had a chance to learn specifically from this choir that actually has inspired us some years back already. And I'm talking about the Vesna Children's Choir from Russia. After the competition, during the dinner and get-together, the conductor of the Vesna Children's Choir approached me. She gave me a video and some materials about their choir. Reading the background of the program that they were doing with the children inspired me to work more with the youth of the Philippines. In fact, in that dinner itself, Alfie and I discussed already what we can do when we get back to the Philippines. That really what pushed us to form the Schola Cantorum once we came back. Ma'am OA was always interested in promoting music, especially choral music, among the youth. She wanted always to attract or to get more young people into choral music, to sing in choirs. When I joined the MADZ, I had the opportunity to meet some of these internationally known composers who have been working with young people. And Ma'am OA would always tell us stories about her friendship with the conductors and the program itself. Or one of these choirs was the Tapiola Children's Choir from Finland. And the conductor was a very close friend of hers, Erki Poyola. When we got the opportunity to meet the choir, we were really very impressed. We saw really young people making music seriously, and they were very good. I got more interested in the program that they were doing in Finland, in Helsinki. I learned that they would encourage these young people not only to sing, but also to study individual instruments, among other things. There is also this couple from Venezuela this time who also inspired Ma'am OA in her desire to promote music among the youth. I'm talking about Maria Guinand and Alberto Grau. In fact, the name of this program that we have now, we got it from there, the Schola Cantorum, or the School of Singing. These programs and these composers and conductors were the ones who sort of inspired us more to work and to organize this.
Nami-miss niyo na ba kumanta sa choir? Ay nako, do you miss also this personal interaction in music making? Nakakamiss talaga with this pandemic. Diba?
Yes, nakakamiss. But let us make the most out of our situation. And as difficult as it may be, this pandemic opens up new opportunities and different other ways for us to continue singing.
So, if you do not sing in a choir now, or miss rehearsing with your choir, if you have friends who you want to introduce to the joy of choral singing or choral music, well, we have the perfect opportunity for all of you, because the Madz invites you to sit in with them, yes, rehearse with them, yes, and sing along with them.
So, eto na. Kantahan na naman. Let's go!
Let's go!
Hello everyone! It is my turn to welcome you all to this new season of Madz Talk. For this new season, we have different segments which I hope you will all enjoy watching. But for this next segment, you will not just watch. You are all welcome to sing along with the Madz. Last week, we posted a score that I hope you were able to study, and so you can sing with us now. But for those who were not able to study, kung hindi nyo naaral, siguro next month na lang uli kayo makikanta with us. So for those who were able to study it, we will have an opportunity to listen to the Madz, and they will sing the parts one at a time so we can review a little. The piece is Chichrit-Chit. It's a children's play song in 4 verses, arranged for the Madz by Annie Nepomuceno, also a former Madz, back in the 80s. So now let's try the first verse. It is sung by everybody in unison. But maglalagay tayo ng konting character. So we will put some slides or glissando ang tawag natin doon in some of the syllables which are also indicated in the score. So now let's listen to the Madz first.
Chichirichi, palibang-bang, sa laginto, sa lagubang, ang babae sa lansangan, kung gumiri parang tandang.
Now, let's do it together. Ready? 1, 2.
Chichirichi, palibang-bang, sa laginto, sa lagubang, ang babae sa lansangan, kung gumiri parang tandang.
Very good. In the second verse, meron na tayong what we call divisi. Okay? So the sopranos and the tenors will continue on singing the melody. The only difference is that we will start singing it softer and we will do a crescendo as we go along. The altos and the basses will sing a counter melody. So now let's listen to the Madz first.
Santo Niño sa pandakan, puto seko sa tindahan, kung ayaw kang magpautang, ubusin ka ng langgam.
Now your turn. Sing along with the altos and basses. Ready? 1, 2.
Santo Niño sa pandakan, puto seko sa tindahan, kung ayaw kang magpautang, ubusin ka ng langgam.
Very good. Now let's add the sopranos and the tenors. Ready?
Santo Niño sa pandakan, puto seko sa tindahan, kung ayaw kang magpautang, ubusin ka ng langgam.
Excellent. Now moving on. The third verse will be sung by the sopranos and altos. So let's listen to the Madz sing that, and immediately after that, tenors and basses, get ready because you will be singing the fourth verse. So now pakinggan muna natin ang Madz.
Mama, nababangka, pasakayin niya ring bata, pagdating sa Maynila, ipapalit ng manika.
Ale-ale na mamayong, pasukubin niya ring sanggol, pagdating sa Malabon, ipagpalit ng bago.
Okay, now let's sing along. Here's the third and fourth verses. Ready? 1, 2.
Mama, nababangka, pasakayin niya ring bata, pagdating sa Maynila, ipapalit ng manika.
Ale-ale na mamayong, pasukubin niya ring sanggol, pagdating sa Malabon, ipagpalit ng bago.
Okay, so now we are ready to sing the whole song. We will sing the whole song twice, but for added challenge and fun, we will sing the second time a little bit faster. Okay, so get ready, sit properly like the Madz, or you may want to stand up if you like. Here goes. Ready? 1, 2.
Chichirichi, talibang-bang, sa laginto, sa lagubang, ang babae sa lansangan, kung gumiri parang tandang, Santo Niño sa pandakan, Puto Seco sa tindahan, kung ayaw kang magpautang, uubusin ka ng langgam. Mama, nababangka, pasakayin niya ring bata, pagdating sa Maynila, ipagpalit ng manika.
Ale-ale na mamayong, pasukubin niya ring sanggol, pagdating sa Malabon, ipagpalit ng bago.
Chichirichi, talibang-bang, sa laginto, sa lagubang, ang babae sa lansangan, kung gumiri parang tandang, Santo Niño sa pandakan, Puto Seco sa tindahan, kung ayaw kang magpautang, umusin ka ng langgam. Mama, nababangka, pasakayin niya ring bata, pagdating sa Maynila, ipagpalit ng manika.
Ale-ale na mamayong, pasukubin niya ring sanggol, pagdating sa Malabon, ipagpalit ng bago.
Chichirichi, talibang-bang, sa laginto, sa lagubang, ang babae sa lansangan, kung gumiri parang tandang, kung gumiri parang tandang.
Good job, everybody. See you next month for the next Mad Sing-Along.
Diba? Ang saya-saya natin. If you enjoyed that, then, and if you think a friend or a family member will enjoy singing, invite them to join. And let's all sing again at the next Mad Sing-Along session in our October episode. And be sure to download and study the choral score before the episode. Well, a special thank you to our segment producer, Jello Diamos, who organized, directed, edited, and put the whole segment together. Before we did our Mad Sing-Along segment, we were talking about Schola Cantorum.
So let's continue. The MAD Schola Cantorum is now on its third year, and we have 33 students joining our third batch. Today, we have 61 students in this program. Previously, the students would physically come to the Madz Music Studio for their group classes in voice, music theory, and choral singing. And for the second year students, they would also start to come for their individual piano and voice lessons. This new school year, because of the current situation, which you know of, the Mad Schola Cantorum transitioned to fully online or distance learning mode when the classes started last September 12th.
Earlier, we were talking about the inspiration behind the Schola Cantorum. Now, let us focus on that motivation. What is keeping this scholarship program alive is something called Pay It Forward, an initiative by the alumni of the Madz as our way of giving back to build for the future.
The teachers of the Schola Cantorum come mainly from the current and former members of the Madz. We are very fortunate that we have had hundreds of singers who have sung with us, and they would always ask us how they can contribute to whatever programs we have in the Madz. And so we have created this program where we can have these former singers contribute, and we call it the Pay It Forward.
My name is Jane Diaz-Reyes, and I am a music director for 2 churches here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am a voice student of MAM-OA Veneration as a member of the 1996-97 batch that won the first European Grand Prix in Tolosa, Spain, and Tours, France. I performed at the 2018 concert to benefit the Madz Schola Cantorum, a pay-it-forward event. As a member of the Madz, I have been blessed to travel the world, meet people from so many nations and many races. As a music educator myself, my hope is that many more young people will be able to learn and perfect this art, to be able to have the sense of pride in being good at what they do, experience being the best at what they do, and to also represent our country. So let the Madz Schola Cantorum continue the legacy of Ma'am OA that she started years ago, allowing many to reach heights they never dreamed, become people they never thought they could, and to embody the Philippine artist, not only as well-trained great singers, but well-rounded and good people.
I sang with the Madz for 4 years. I treasure everything that I learned from the group, lalo na yung experience of winning the EGP in 2007. But more importantly, I treasure the Madz way of touching people's lives and to always share ourselves. We were encouraged to go and teach choirs. Na-enjoy ko talaga yun dahil sobrang fulfilling to see people learning from you. Even if I left the group in 2008 to start my own family, I know I'm still committed to the mission of the Madz. When the opportunity came to sing as one of the Nightingales, I felt it was another calling to be part of the mission. I said yes to it because once again, I will be able to reach out to more people by performing and by teaching through workshops. I feel very proud that the Nightingales are able to help sustain the Madz Schola Cantorum and other Madz projects continuously.
Many of them, in fact, I include myself, would say that the best years of our lives were those we spent with the Madz. And we have that strong desire to make other people experience that same joy.
My name is Victor Santiago Asuncion, and I'm a pianist and Steinway artist based in Chicago, Illinois. I recently performed for the fundraisers for Madz Schola Cantorum, both at the Cultural Center of the Philippines and at the Ayala Museum. I met Professor Veneration, or Ma'am OA, when I was still in high school at the Philippine High School for the Arts. And I was lucky that she took a particular interest in my musical studies and eventually my musical career. It was her idea that I join the Madrigal Singers for their American and Canadian tour in 1993, so that I can stay behind in America and pursue my musical studies. If it hadn't been for her, I think my life would be completely different today. I'm so extremely grateful that I was able to further my studies and really enjoy a career doing what I love the most. I will never forget her kindness, and her generosity. And thank you for this opportunity to express my gratitude.
These singers would contribute not only financially, but also some of them would be the ones who would teach, who would hold classes and workshops for these young singers.
Hello everyone, this is Edward Granadosin. I supported the Madz project way back in 2018, that was December 31st. We had a fundraising for the Schola Cantorum. They were able to send some students to the program. I taught them how to sing from the heart. Why did I say yes to Pay It Forward initiative? It's really the legacy of the Philippine Madrigal Singers to set a standard, a very high standard actually for all singers, and most especially for all the choirs. Choirs, most especially in the Philippines, have this ability now to set also their standard. We're glad because some of them are really winning in choral competitions. So this initiative really of paying it forward on how Ma'am OA really affected our lives, our gift, our talent. This is our way of saying thank you to Ma'am, and of course way the Madrigals are producing budding performers to our country. Thank you for inviting me, and this is my way also of encouraging all of the choirs, all of the choir masters. Congratulations, thanks, and God bless. Bye.
We also have this foundation where we can have other people, I'm talking about non-Mads, who would like to contribute. We have called this the Andrea o Veneration Singh Philippines Foundation. This is the foundation where people can donate funds that we would need to support this program. We are now on the 3rd year of the MAD Schola Cantorum, and I'm happy to say that we have more enrollees this time, much more than the first 2 years. 2 of the first batch of Schola Cantorum are now studying music, and in fact one of them is singing with us in the Mads.
Like the work and mission of the Mads, to reach out not just through the whole country, but to reach out also to the rest of the world through music. Mads Talk Plus now reaches out beyond our borders to bring you other perspectives and ideas about singing and choral music.
So Mads Talk Plus is a collaboration of many individuals who share our passion and joy, and this collaboration comes together from all over the world. So for example, you heard our paid forward guest alumni. Most of them are from the US. As we stream the show from Manila, I am now in Thailand, and Candy,
I am in Italy. Well, our next new regular segment of the new Mads Talk Plus is fittingly based on our desire to enrich you and connect you to the world.
So let us welcome our next segment host for ENRICONNECT. Here is Enrico Lagasca from New York, USA.
American composer and conductor Jet Torres is one of the industry's most sought-after artists. He has achieved the greatest acclaim for his work in different genres from choral to orchestral music. Jake's music has been performed by a highly impressive list of phenomenal artists from around the world, such as Vocalize, Conspirare, Netherlands Radio Choir, our very own the Philippine MAD-REGAL singers, and many more. Joining us in the first episode of ENRICONNECT, please welcome the brilliant Jake Cronestad.
Hey Jake, so good to see you, buddy, and thank you for joining me on my first segment episode for Mads Talk.
My pleasure, it's good to see you too.
We all know the Jake Cronestad, this choral world sensation. I actually like to take our audiences to get to know you more in a, let's say, in a socially distant personal level. So who is Jake when he isn't writing music?
Jake, he is a connoisseur of donuts and pastries. I love to hike and backpack and camp and bike and kayak and lots of things outside. I really love to cook, especially for the people that I love. I love to travel and read, and I love being an uncle. My little nephew Ali is pretty awesome. So
possibly what I've gathered from performing your work, it's inspired by nature and just you being in all your adventures and the outdoors and just the beauty of the landscapes of where you live, especially in Minnesota. What or who inspires you or influences you in writing, and briefly talk us about your process.
I want to write music that I love, and I want to write music that I want to listen to or that I want to sing. So that is one of my guiding principles. I tend to write about themes that I'm interested in or themes that speak to me, stories that I love, stories that are meaningful. And so those are the things that I really work toward in all of my pieces. So a lot of that has to do with the natural world, or people that have written beautifully about the natural world, or just the shared human stories that we have as a global community. Every culture has, I think, these stories that we all share. And so I think we can learn about ourselves through those stories. So I try to tell all of those with my music in some way.
Congratulations on not one, but 2 new recordings.
Thank you.
Just 2 fantastic choirs. Conspirare with The Hope of Loving and Cantorai with Singh Wearing the Sky. So I'm just curious, how is Jake as the audience, as the listener of your own music?
It's just amazing to be able to work with these choirs that sing so beautifully with such professionalism and such musicality. I think they can make just about anything sound good. But it's really wonderful to learn about my own music by listening to what they bring to it. That's one thing that I really love. I was there for both of these recordings, so I was able to give feedback and offer advice in all of these recording processes. I think it's really nice because I can sit back and enjoy it as a listener, and I just kind of listen back and try to hear things that maybe I didn't know that I put in there, or try to find ways that they are teaching me about my own music. Just letting the music wash over and experiencing it for the art that it is, as opposed to the project that it might be.
I have been a witness of just listening to your music as not a performer, as an audience member. And some 3 years ago, the Madz performed Let My Love Be Heard, and consistently every time I hear it, it just transports me in this emotional roller coaster, right? I think it's also this connection that I know you personally and I know the Madz personally, so just seeing both and hearing both is just very special to me. But I'd like to hear straight from you. Could you tell us a little something about Let My Love Be Heard?
So I wrote Let My Love Be Heard for this wonderful choir in Seattle, Choral Arts Northwest. Robert Bodie is the conductor. It's for their kind of wintertime candlelit concerts. And I was actually working on a different text. And I was working, it just wasn't happening. And, the deadline was looming. And so I just decided, all right, I've got to throw it out. I've got to start over. So I went back into my files, and I have this collection of little red books with gold text on the outside that my grandmother gave me when my grandpa died. And it's this collection of poetry. It's called The Best Poems in the World or something like that. And this poem by Alfred Noyes called A Prayer is in that collection. For whatever reason, that one just spoke to me in that moment. I decided to use it for this commission and started writing. The main image of the piece is an individual wishing that this plea could be lifted onto the wings of angels and brought into the sky. So I knew that was going to be the main imagery for the piece. So in that middle section where the sopranos and altos have all of these soaring triplets that gradually get higher and higher and higher, that's the kind of winged beings that are lifting the tenors and basses repetition of Let My Love Be Heard over and over and over again until it's finally we reach the climax and we release it into the air.
We find comfort in music a lot, and yours have just consistently brought warmth and joy to me. Given the many things that are currently happening in the world right now, if there's one piece of yours that you'd like to dedicate to our viewers, what would that be?
I guess we've already talked so much about Let Me Love Be Heard, so it should probably be Let My Love Be Heard. The Madz have a beautiful recording out. I think there are a few videos of them online, so definitely check that one out. Another one that I think is really special is Cal State Long Beach, which the choir had performed at a vigil for Noemi Gonzalez, who was killed in the Paris attacks in 2015. She was a student at Cal State Long Beach. And the next day, the students, they weren't really ready to move on from that experience. And so they learned and recorded Let My Love Be Heard in one rehearsal and offered it to their community as this sign of love and of hope and of grief.
Thank you so much, Jake, for joining us. And I speak on behalf of the Madz and our audiences. Just thank you for your beautiful artistry.
Great to see you. And sending all of my love to everyone in the Philippines and everywhere else around the world. who are still making music, and I'm just so grateful for everything that you do, and hope that we can make music in real life together very soon. And eat donuts.
And donuts.
Thanks, bye.
Despite this pandemic, despite the unfortunate situation of staying home or staying physically distant from each other with no live choir rehearsals or performances, we are actually seeing and exploring new and different and alternative forms of choral activity to happen all around us.
First, this October, the NCCA, or the National Commission on Culture and the Arts, is partnering with Andrea Veneration Singh Philippines Foundation to bring conductors from all over the Philippines to this wonderful learning opportunity.
Pangarap ko na matulungan yung mga choir members ko na matupad yung pangarap nila to sing outside the church. Yung tipong nakagown, nasa theater, yung ganong style ng pag-perform. Actually, wala pa akong formal training sa Plan W. Sobrang na-expect ko po na marami talaga akong matututunan sa music.
The NCCA Andrea Veneration Singh Philippines Online Choral Leadership Program is deemed to empower classroom and community-based music teachers or self-taught choral conductors by providing them with practical and applicable skills to organize choirs and to sustain and nurture these groups as they also work towards uplifting the standards of choral singing in their communities. Please look forward to this offering and join us in other activities supported by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts.
Alam mo yun, when you empower one, pasa-pasa. And kahit sa akin, na nakita ng mga bata na may ganito, may tumulong, may nag-empower, sasabihin nila sa'yo na, sana paglaki namin, maging kagaya kami na Ate Jo. Sana makatulong din kami sa ibang mga bata. Sana makapagturo din kami someday. Ganun yung effect eh, chain reaction. Akala mo at first, isa lang yung empower mo, pero nagpapasa-pasa siya.
Ang gusto sana naming mangyari is for all of these participants to spread this joy and inspiration that they experienced to all of their choirs, wherever they may be, and that starting from them, we may all do this together of making the whole country sing.
We're calling on public school or community-based choir conductors or music teachers. Remember, the deadline for applying for this full scholarship is this Friday on September 25.
Okay, the other upcoming event that we are announcing to all of you is the annual Madz et al. Choral Festival, which will be streamed online or virtually for 7 Sundays, starting this November 1 until mid-December, right here on Madz Talk Plus, every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. While the regular Madz Talk Plus will be a once-a-month, 1-hour show, we will be streaming weekly for November and December for 1 hour and a half.
Yes, that will be every Sunday for 7 Sundays, featuring close to 70 choirs, 70. The annual Madz et al. Choral Festival has been ongoing for more than 35 years. And because this year we're going virtual, we're happy to announce that choirs from outside Manila and from the USA and Europe will be joining us.
And of course, there will be lots of virtual choir performances, and even the tutti finale, or that one grand choir finale where all the choirs sing together the final song, that will be also one big virtual choir performance.
Tama, magic word, virtual choir. So specifically for Madz et al. Participants listening in, we know that all of you in the Madz et al. Family are busy preparing for your virtual choir performance.
So pati si Candy, she will bring her Italian choir to participate for the first time in our Madz et al. Choral Festival, and she is stressed because she's trying to make her own virtual choir performance. Tama, Candy?
Yes, so stressed. so stressed.
So, may iba sa inyo na, ay, sanay na kami sa virtual choir. But some of you are doing it for the first time or just a second time. So, we have a treat for all of you. We are giving this next segment as a sort of like a sharing and learning session about virtual choir performances, how to make one. So our viewers may recall that earlier the Madz released 2 landmark virtual choir performance videos. The first one was by the Madz alumni and another more recently by the current Madz batch 2020. So within this virtual choir experiences ng Madz, there are many things that the Madz learned from these well-acclaimed virtual choir videos. And so we are featuring the 3 individuals who were behind the creation of those virtual choir videos to share what they've learned and to give some tips and suggestions to all the choirs who are busy preparing for their own virtual choir videos. So first up, we have the composer and creator of the virtual choir video that was named by the famous choral composer Eric Whitaker as one of his top 6 favorite virtual choir performances in the world. And this is by Ailey Matthew Maniano, composer and creator of Be Still My Soul, his original composition, featuring the Madz alumni from all over the world spanning 6 decades. Recently also, the current Madz released their virtual choir performance Better Than I from DreamWorks Animation's Joseph, King of Dreams by John Buccino, arranged by the first-time new Madz arranger, Erwin Vargas. For this virtual choir performance of the Madz, I believe that their method was different. Not the usual way that the virtual choir videos are done, that is, every singer submits their own individual voice singing along to a guide, MIDI or -1 track, and then the video editor will combine all of these individual tracks together to make the consolidated choral sound.
Well, for this, we have JC, Jose, and Nico Villanueva, who put together this unique and different way that the Madz make their virtual choir.
We are learning so much from this next segment that we have actually decided to put it up into 2 parts, to split it into 2 parts. So today will be part 1. We will stream part 1 today with Nico, Ailey, and JC. And then part 2 will be streamed next show in October, the 2nd episode of Madz Talk Plus. So here is Ailey, JC, and Nico. We hope you learned something from this.
Well, good evening to everyone. So my approach to virtual choirs are quite simple and straightforward. So once you receive the score, you study it, mark your scores, internalize, and if you feel like you can record, then go ahead. So I'd like to share with you some important do's and don'ts I've learned through the process that might help with your own virtual choir projects. So number 1, vocalize. Kasi kinakalawang ang ating boses kapag hindi naggamit. So every now and then, kanta tayo dito, kanta tayo doon. And we can also practice our lines and the passages, especially kung saan tayo nahihirapan. Number 2, develop singing with precision. So be careful with our intonation, ang ating pitching, ang breathing, para hindi tayo kinakapos sa mga long phrases. Important also to mark your scores, kung saan tayo hihinga, ang mga cuts and releases, especially sa mga S's. And don'ts. Nako, pinaka-importante, do not procrastinate. Nako, wag nang antayin ang deadline para isubmit ang mga video recordings. Okay? Kasi malaking tulong ito sa ating audio and video editors. And last but not least, don't be too hard on yourself. If you feel like you've done your best, okay na yun. Otherwise, maka 20-40 takes ka and hindi ka matatapos. Ang importante is to enjoy the process and take what you've learned from it. The challenging part is just combining everything from syncing all the audios. Nakakabingi, especially if you have 50 plus tracks to align. Imagine kung may semitone, quarter tone clashes, mga pitching problems here, there, and everywhere. Naku po! Sakit sa tenga. Hindi lang sa tenga, pati sa mata when you sync naman the videos. There's this also creative mapping of what's going to happen throughout the song. No? So, hindi biro mag-edit, it's a different art. Kaya, wag na mag-procrastinate at isubmit ka agad ang mga recordings. I think one of my learnings is that we need to appreciate our video and audio editors, especially if we have one in our choirs. Kasi take into consideration the time, the effort, the art that they put into creating such short presentation. No? So, give them a love gift, a token of appreciation. Well, for me, I think I was really touched with the people messaging how they were moved by listening to the music and how it inspired them to get through, especially what we've experienced during the first few months of lockdown. And I think bonus na lang that I got a shout out from Eric Whitaker as one of included in his list of inspiring virtual choirs he has listened to, and then also a feature in Esplanade, Singapore.
Not the click track that you are singing with, may kasabay kang ibang boses while singing to sound like singing pa rin together.
May mga problems na hindi na ma-fix. Yung mga gamit ng tao, mga cellphones, tapos walang proper na recording.
Number one na do,
try to stay away.
Before you record, you test
Hindi mo magagawa dito yung parang magtatago ka lang sa boses ng iba. Embrace yung new normal na kailangan talaga tayo na maging as much as possible maging cleaner singers.
Why not? Definitely something fresh as possible.
We hope that our viewers learned something, especially the choirs who are preparing virtual choir projects and the choirs who will be joining the forthcoming MADZ-REGAL Virtual Festival. And remember, part 2 of this will be streamed next episode in October.
Next month, October, marks the 57th anniversary of the Madz. We are excited to announce several exciting events coming up. To mark an exciting 57th year celebration and looking forward as we count down to the 60th year of the Madz coming up in 3 years, let's hear the Madz choir master himself give a glimpse of the dream that is powering what we are looking forward to.
We have our other programs as well. For example, we have this program for young children, which we call the Mini Madz program. We have other groups that make use of the Madz studio, like the Nightingales, the Musica Filipina, and the Male Ensemble Philippines. The family is getting bigger and bigger, and we would need a bigger space in order to accommodate all, not only the rehearsals, but also the educational programs that we run here. We look forward to having that bigger space, that Madz school, or the Madz Choral Center that we have been dreaming of. It is in that space that we would like to continue with all these programs in order to help us fulfill our mission.
It's time for some good manners and right conduct, or GMRC. Reminder from the Madz Talk Plus resident choral diva.
Here is how you can be regal and proper. The right way to carry yourself, whether you are a conductor, a chorister, or the audience. Our resident choral diva answers the question: decor, decoración, or decorum. So here he is. Enjoy MAD-REGAL 101.
Presenting Her Royal Highness Queen Corona of Oriana.
Oh, hello. I am so thrilled to see all of you here tonight in my palace. How I miss to see my loyal subjects physically. remember the days when we used to watch live performances in great halls and theaters, like operas and galas. Of course, now I only watch these concerts through my manservant's mobile phone. Which reminds me, allow me to teach you on how to behave like a royalty such as myself in performances, in operas, in galas, etc., etc., que sera, sera. Just simply follow these do's and don'ts and make yourself at ease and become a royalty. Buy your tickets. I am most certain that you all know how this situation affected our artists and performers. Once it's allowed to hold public gatherings such as live performances, please purchase your own tickets instead of patiently waiting in the lobby for free and complimentary tickets. This will definitely help the artists recuperate from these tragic times, thus allowing them to continue what they do best. Arrive 15 minutes early. Give yourself some time to go through security check. Socialize with your early bird friends, take pictures, and most importantly, finding your own seat. It is not really a pleasant experience arriving at the concert hall after the performance has started. You might only be allowed to enter after a piece, or worse, during the concert break. Dress appropriately, please. The dress code is definitely formal, though it tends to get more and more casual with time, which I don't understand honestly. The more traditional and historical the theater, the more formal the dress code. Sometimes it also applies to the seating category of your tickets. While wearing jeans can be somehow okay for an upper seat at the very top of the room, it's definitely not acceptable if you are sitting in the corbeille, that is, in the first category facing the orchestra. Beautiful evening dresses for ladies and nice suit for gentlemen will do just fine. Remember, that is not a movie festival or red carpet either, so nothing too provocative or revealing is also of good taste. Next episode, we will continue on with royal decorum once the performance has started. But for now, I bid you adieu. See you again, my loyal subjects.
So, dear viewers, thank you for joining us tonight for our premiere of the new season of Madz Talk Plus. We'd like to thank all of our guests who joined us on this show. We'd like to thank specifically our viewers. You have given a lot of feedback, sent us meaningful messages which help us shape the new form and substance of this new season. So please wag po kayong magsawa sa pagpapadala ng mga comments, messages, suggestions. We may not be able to answer all of it one by one, but rest assured that we read and take your input and feedback very seriously. And finally, we'd like to thank our segment hosts who helped roll this show along very fantastically. Candy, any announcements before you say goodbye?
Yes, I would like to remind everybody again, on September 25, that's Friday, that's the deadline of the NCCA scholarship program. So if any one of you know public school teachers or community-based conductors who would like to participate in this, or music teachers, please take note Friday, September 25, because the program will start already this October. Another thing, please don't forget to watch the Madz et al. Festival, 35th now on its year, from when? From November 1 to December 18, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so that's every Sunday. We will do that from November to December.
Oh, before
Alfred?
that, we have a webinar on choral arranging by 3 of our really popular choral writers. So Ana Abeleda, Christopher Borella, and Robert Delgado. That webinar schedule is going to be delayed by 1 week later to allow more people to catch up and sign up. So please go to the Madz Facebook page for more details.
Okay, and the biggest reminder is don't go to our streaming every Sunday, because now the Madz Talk Plus is monthly. One on September, this one, and then one in October. But in November, we'll do it again every Sunday until December. Okay, for the Madz et al.
So we will see you the next episode on October 18, which is the 3rd Sunday of October. Oh, if you were paying attention to the opening soundtrack and listen closely to the closing soundtrack of this episode, that music was specially and specifically written for Madz Talk Plus by the famed and iconic choral writer, one of the pillars of Philippine choral arranging, the one and only Fabian Obispo. Maraming salamat, Mr. Fabian Obispo.
Thank you so much.
Short but fantastic.
Yes, thank you very much for this. It's a gift to us.
Okay, so good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Candy.
Okay, see you next October. Bye.
Yes!
Hi, that was our first episode of Madz Talk Plus.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Yes! We hope you learned a lot. Oh my God!
Ang dami natin natutunan kay Jet.
It's about time na, di ba, we have to learn the proper decorum.
Oh, hi, Jello. Oh, you're there. Hi, come here often. Hi.
Hi. Baka get over
Hi
such
sa
a
aking mga alumni.
Laking family na kasi ng Madz, di ba? Through online and through our talk show and through the studio, we get to connect with each other.
Yes.
And rehearse. Virtually.
And rehearse.
And rehearse. Virtually, yeah. So Jello, ano ba bang mga pwede natin makita sa mga next few episodes of Madzingalong?
The viewers can expect some other members of the Madz leading the actual rehearsals, and of course more music from the Madz and more learnings.
At ang S.O.S.
I learned na ganun ka pala dapat ka proactive talaga kasi virtual na yung learning. So you really have to be engaged and so super galing ng S.O.S. mo.
Thank you.
Through the Madz Studio, ang dami nating mga online virtual lessons na and then
with ENRICONNECT, nakakatuwa para to be able to sing specifically yung song na yon, it was grabe, para ako nag-flashback to be part of that experience. And
ENRICONNECT is ENRICONNECT is a very nose-bleeding segment.
It's nice to share to our audiences and that connections sa Madz around the world. So that's what we're gonna try every month, diba?
Yeah.
At saka diba, kasi when we study a piece, we don't only study the music and the dynamics. We also study the the background of the composer or the arranger. So it's a very, very nice way to get to know the composer.
Sana, our audiences will join us next week. Or no, next month. Once a month na lang pala tayo. Every third Sunday.
Yes.
Every third Sunday.
Third Sunday.
Yeah.
And marami pa kayong mga exciting episodes as your segment hosts. And napaka mga exciting activities ng Madz and ng Madz Studio this year. May mga malalaki tayong mga pasabog this coming
Sobra.
Yes.
Itong mga segment na to, maingganyo sila mag-audition din para to be part of the Madz family. They can experience also. So prepared na sila.
Nandiyan si Jello to help them with all the at ang current Madz. With all their teachings and conducting and rehearsal. So, kung hindi kayo makajoin pa ngayon, you virtually makaka-ensayo kayo with the Madz.
Kasi gano'n naman talaga, before we attend the rehearsal, di ba, we study first the piece, dapat alam na natin, prepared tayo. So, yun yung magandang naturo nung kanina, ng MADZINGALONG.
Yeah.
Tsaka it's not all the time you get conducted by Sir Mark Anthony Carpio.
Amen!
Maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanood ng first episode ng season 2.
Thank you, everyone!
Thanks, everyone!
And thank you, guys!
We're sa ating hosts, of course, kay Kuya Alfred, Andy, and sa ating tech team.
Looking forward talaga ako for the next episode. Super.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Next week, tuturuan pa tayo ng pinsan ko na si Queen Corona about proper decorum. Tuturuan pa niya tayo. So, we'll see you next week.
Oo, nawala si Kat.
Next week.
Ayan.
Di ba next week? Next episode. Next episode. Next month.
Baka mag-abang sila.
Abitin ka.
I'm Coach Kat with S.O.S.
I'm Enrico with ENRICONNECT.
And I'm Jet, and my cousin is Queen Corona of Oriana.
And I'm Jello, producer of MADZINGALONG.
See you next time.
Bye!